Okay. Guys, thanks for being here. This is Market Check. My name is Max. We are also joined by Tucker. We're running with a half crew today. Our man Tommy, he's getting some engagement photos done, I believe. And our man Will's Outlook is in a very important meeting right now, so I've been told. So that said, you're gonna have to make do with just me and just Tucker, but we promise we are going to do our best to deliver some alpha today. We're gonna have some fun, look at some charts, basically just go over what we're looking at for this week's potential setups and hopefully take some trades. We definitely have a full week. It's a very highly anticipated CPI print that we have on the 12th. So right in the middle of the week. From what I'm seeing right now, it seems like consensus is 3.1, which of course is down significantly from the previous month. And look, I mean, it's very noteworthy because this is the first time we've been back in the threes in well over a year. So, the big question is, are we going to actually hit that 3.1 and then sort of maintain? Will we begin or, continue to trend down and actually get into the twos and then maintain there? And the Fed has actually achieved its long-term target of 2%, which they're kind of parrots about. They're like broken records. It's like the same thing every single time. The Fed is committed to achieving its long-term goal of 2%, and we're getting close though. We're getting really close, but there also are some cases to be made for a potential reacceleration of inflation. But with that said, things are looking pretty good, and the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq are also not that far off of potential all-time highs. We're getting very close to that area. So lots to dissect today. Crypto's looking a little bit weak in my opinion, but that's kind of what crypto does before it coils sometimes. So Tucker and I have slightly differing views on crypto. Personally, I'm thinking lower time frame, it looks a little bit weak. I'd love to see some sort of dip early week before CPI, potentially load the bags for some longs. But I think Tucker might already have some long exposure, and he's got a pretty compelling case to be made for higher without going lower first. So, anyways, let's kick it over to Tucker. Tucker, man, what's going on? I love your background. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this Bitcoin long. Maybe you could show us some TA and break it down for us, but show me what you're looking at.
Yeah, for sure. I think it was 2 nights ago I kind of noticed this. And this is just kind of correlation, right? Like this is not there was not a whole lot of TA that went into it, but basically between price and my little momentum indicator here, um, something I was noticing was this. So we had the pump, and then we kind of did this, and then right before we got like the giga send. Let me take this arrow off. We kind of painted a similar pattern that we are right now, both on price and down here. Um, like this is something I kind of enjoy doing is trying to match up price and this, like you'll see similar patterns painted in price and these waves down here. So this and then we got this and right here. And because besides what I'm looking at right here, there's not a whole lot that would have told you that this was just gonna rip from 27.9 to 31. Like this looks like a pretty random pump. Like, besides maybe like something you can kind of look at down here is like here we go. I don't know. I mean, you had money flow coming up, you had tighter momentum waves. This went green right here and then it popped. So it doesn't have to be exactly the same. And these two lines are a little bit different. But basically I was seeing like, okay, we're painting the same kind of waves down here. We've kind of gotten the dip again, the swipes at the highs. Now we're kind of going sideways. I could see us just kind of taking the highs. And like Tommy likes to say, like these are decently weak highs. You know what I mean? Like I think if you're short from up here, like I don't think you're safe probably. Like kind of the same way it was up here. These guys probably thought they were pretty safe and that we were just gonna kind of like like do this, and trend down. And instead they just blasted through all these guys and took them out and then trended lower. So I could see something similar happening. Just because, like, if you look at the weekly, the impulse candle, like we've talked about before, is never the top. And they could change that. Like, that doesn't have to remain. But, impulse candle was not the top. Impulse candle was not the top. Is it going to be the top this time? I don't know, but we kind of did this, right? Kind of like we're doing right now. We went sideways on the weekly. We had some
How many weeks did
basically
we move sideways before that
that was
liquidity
one,
grab?
2, 3, and then the candle. So 1, 2, 3. Maybe it's not this week, maybe it's next week, but it's a little different pattern here than here. We kind of went up, and then but we got these like dojis, right? We got these like small body, long wick. Oh my
Yeah.
god, I'm gonna have to deal with that cat.
I
Can you?
can't hear. I can't hear it. By the way, I think it blocks it out for us. But one
Oh,
thing.
this is
So
wonderful.
can you zoom out to the all time high? I want to. I like your thesis, by the way, and it's interesting that it just so happens to be like we're sitting up here at range highs, and we've got CPI potentially significantly dropping back to the low threes this week as well, which I imagine as long as it's not a miss, it could be used as just a bullish catalyst. Furthermore, could you draw, let's mark out some of the confluence that we have right above where we currently are. So for one, can you go to the 3 day for me to start?
Yeah,
So we've got some equal highs right there. Yeah, see those right there. So we've got some equal highs right there. Maybe we make that, yeah, little baby. So we've got some 3 day equal highs right there.
yeah,
Maybe you
basically.
could label that because I'm gonna give you a few more here. So we've got equal highs right there, and then let's go to the monthly time frame. We've got our last monthly inefficiency right there. So maybe you could draw like
Yeah,
a rectangle or something. I don't know.
yeah.
Something to mark it out. Yeah.
Here,
So yeah, it would go down a little bit lower to like yeah, you could start it up there a little bit, a little bit higher. Yeah, right there, and then to the bottom of it, a little lower, a little bit lower.
basically.
Yeah, yeah,
There.
right there. Yeah, so then monthly, then we've got a
Had a
monthly
whole
FEG right there. Yep. So could you throw a label on that too? Monthly FEG. Cool. Um, and then can you do one more? So could you draw just like a range from the all time high to the current low?
up here
Yeah. So just draw like
to the current low.
yeah, yeah. And then the mid range on I believe it's the log scale. If you looked at the if you put it on log scale.
And we pull the mid. Where's the mid? 40. You want to put it on log though?
Yeah, yeah. Can you put it on log?
Yeah.
Yep. So
Okay.
then our mid range is basically right there as well.
It's in here somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's right there. So we've got so much confluence right above us where it's like if we really want to backfill, the Luna drop and the FTX drop, so like basically both of our major capitulatory events on the way down get backfilled and we don't have any major gaps in the charts, there's so much confluence sitting right above us. So, going back to like the move you were talking about, Tucker, where we were at 27 and then we fired all the way up to 31.
Yeah.
Another move like that, maybe you could draw a fractal. You go down to like the daily and draw a fractal. Like another move very similarly to that one. Um, yeah, I mean that would potentially just fire us right into those levels. Yeah, right there. A move up to 33, 34.
Yes.
With a
There.
soft CPI catalyst. Um,
Oh,
I'm personally not expecting a lot more than that if it comes, but there's so much confluence up there, and you are right to identify typically the impulse candle, it doesn't exhaust right there. But one thing I will mention is like before breakdown, sometimes it can be. So if you look to the left where, see where you've got the equal highs
Yeah,
drawn out?
right here, kind of just.
Or no, I mean, so
Oh
back
yeah,
in
yeah,
last May, that little
yeah.
whatever. So that was an impulse candle, and we kind of faded from there. So it can happen for sure, but typically you are right. Um, but yeah, anyways, I just wanted to point that out. There's so much confluence right above head.
Yeah, there's no CME gap up here too
Oh yeah, that
somewhere.
was the next one. But that's a little bit higher. That starts at like 35K,
Somewhere
um,
up there.
or 34.8 or something like that. So that's slightly higher. So maybe if we did move up, we would dip into it. So let me see actually on my chart. I can't share it on here, but the CME, so it
I'm looking it up.
starts, yeah, it starts at 34,480. Let me just, yep. So maybe we could get a partial fill on that. It starts at 34,460.
60.
Yeah. So I mean, look, it's $1,000 higher than we were just talking about, but I think it's plausible.
Yeah. I mean, 34, 460 is basically the EQ or the mid of that monthly FVG also,
Yep.
which
Yep.
would be a great place to reject, which is what, like 13%. I mean, that's what I was looking at back here was like, how big was this move after it consolidated? It was like 11%. So, I mean, anywhere in there. I think once you get above like probably once you get above like 32.5, you probably start fading it up to like 34 maybe. Um I don't know. I feel like let's see how long this took. How long did this take from this candle to this candle? 23 days. I think we're at that. We're at 19. So come Friday, we're gonna be blasting off, is what that says.
Do you think it's going to be on the back of the soft CPI catalyst? Like, can you
It
imagine if we got
definitely
a
could be.
if we got a 2.9 or something like that? I mean, that
Dude,
would,
we
yeah.
would blast off, yeah. I think that could definitely happen. Towards the end of the week, maybe. But I mean, what was the other fractal I had for this thing? It was like, oh, I forget what it was. I find, yeah, here.
Oof.
I think it was just this flipped, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like the other one better. Kind of like up before down,
You know what's
but
bothersome to me about where we're at right now with price is that to me it seems like consensus across the board is one more push up and then it's over. And I just don't know if I love that. That it seems like a lot of people are waiting for like that mid 30s area. And it doesn't mean it can't happen. It just seems like a lot of people are on the edge of their seats waiting for it. And typically when the majority are expecting something, it usually doesn't happen. Unless we're in just like a raging bull market, then it's easy mode and everybody's correct.
yeah, I don't know. I think since because okay, we've been up here since Wednesday the 21st. It's now July 10th. I don't know. Like if I was a market maker and I was doing this, I would be wanting to induce people to see weakness in the chart and start shorting it and like see the SFP and see the mid range and say like, like that and then that, you know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I because it's just like what you and I were talking about the other day is like the longer we hang out up here, the weaker it seems. But like they kind of did the same thing back here, and I have this on a hike in a she or whatever, but like they were like SFPing this whole thing up here, and people were probably like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna do this, and then like do that, and then like do that or whatever," and then they just
Yeah.
chatted it through, like
It was just like it was just destroy all breakout and breakdown traders, and we're seeing that type of price action right now.
Yeah, it's tough. And that's what I was saying the other day. It's so hard to position up here. So I don't know. I mean, I'm long, but I gotta stop. If I get stopped, it's not a big deal, but I just think it'd be sick to blast to 33K and then nuke it from there. But I know that's what everybody thinks.
But
So
see, here's the
I
thing.
don't
Here's
know.
what I
It's a
like
tough
about
spot.
30. Here's what I like about 33K. Um, Nothing that profound, but I think the consensus is 35K
Yeah.
and maybe 37. 33 would certainly be nice. Like we just dip into all those levels right there. I
Yeah. Like,
mean, the thing is, I want that CME gap, but I also would be okay if we just like front ran it, and just, or
yeah.
maybe even like very partial fill or like wick or like the CME futures on the CME futures chart we wick into it, but like actual Bitcoin spot prices never get there because sometimes there's a pretty
Yeah.
big spread between the futures basis and spot basis. But right into that area, I'd love to see us like front run 35 and leave a lot of people waiting for 35 or maybe round trip some longs. I'd be okay with that for sure. I'd be okay with that.
Yeah. Like if we, I mean, because everybody's looking, I guess that is 35, huh? Maybe a little lower. Maybe, maybe a little bit more like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Something like we just get into what is that? Because the CME is 34.4 or whatever, but I don't know. No. I guess we could just take out the equal highs and nuke it. But yeah, I mean, I feel like everybody's looking for like 35 and then 40, like imminently after that.
They are. Yeah, they certainly are.
I mean,
Um,
we've just been looking for like the third drive, right? Like one, two, three down. But because I know Will's outlook was like looking for like this, and then it's
that's
over.
pretty high.
Yeah,
That's
no,
pretty high.
that was way too high. Where's this little ABC thing? And then it's like ABC.
Oh my.
But these are exaggerated. Okay, these are exaggerated
No,
there.
yeah, no, just to make the point. I get it. I
Maybe
get it.
like right there. That's what he was looking for.
Wait, what just happened here? Did someone pop in here?
Oh, Dr. Outlook has joined us.
We got the
Bad
doctor.
boys.
We have the doctor
The
back.
doctor showed up, man. He left us in the waiting
Wow.
room, but the doctor came through.
Wow. We're just talking about your thesis here, Will.
All the five?
The five and then the ABC.
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Because that wick, a lot of people anticipate that to be filled. That makes sense to them, but to come back and fill it later still makes sense. It always
At
does.
19 and
Yeah.
19, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, it always makes sense to come back. The imbalances had to be rebalanced.
Yeah. I like it. I like it. I like it.
I like the pop up this morning. It's pretty good. I do have an issue with it right now. Like if you throw it on the weekly, we're sitting under resistance at the moment.
Yeah. We're just talking about the case for higher basically because I'm long looking for 33K. Will I need it.
33.
Need
Yeah,
it.
it's pretty decent up there.
We got some levels.
See how we're just coming up and hitting the resistance right above?
Yeah. Where's that range? Sure.
We were just going over how much confluence there is right up there, Will. Like, it's just such a hot level.
It's like a magnet.
Yeah.
It is. I
Trying to
mean, there's a
pull it.
lot of liquidity up there. My only real contention that I had with Tucker was just seems like such just unanimous just consensus across the board that 35K is programmed, and it could be. I just don't like that everyone seems to be looking for it.
Yeah.
And I know there's people looking for higher too, but
I think there's more in the higher than 35K than there is in the 35K.
I'm
Trust
seeing
me.
people saying this is the start of like a new, like, we're gonna make a new
Yeah.
all-time high before the halving. That seems to be a certain crowd on Twitter
Oh
too.
no. Yeah. No.
Yeah, there's a pretty big consensus of 40K to 50K. a pretty massive one, I would say. And wouldn't that be kind of odd if the market completely reversed midway to their target?
The
Yeah,
the hammer.
that's a big hammer, man.
Yeah, I think we need the hammer larger than the magnet, probably. Yeah.
I mean, where we are now, I'm not gonna lie, bearish or not, that is much more appropriate. That's like your deflection zone,
Yeah.
more or less.
I mean, we do before every halving, bro. We do it before every halving. Like we have the run up, and then even without COVID, we have a big like. What was
Yeah,
this? Like
yeah. I mean that had nothing to do with COVID.
that was a
Literally,
53% correction with no COVID.
And by
And then
and
we
by the way, too, the seasonality of it, it's usually about this time of year in the year
Yeah.
before the halving as well. Like we usually get the first half is like relatively bullish or, a good recovery. But then the second half things usually bleed out. So that's why I'm kind of like if we're going to get that next push up or one more push up, probably got to be soon, like early Q3, you know.
Yeah.
I would say Q4 personally, but when did that start? When did that whole top right there start to fall over? Before COVID, before the whole COVID thing, like we're already ramping up. Market already started to pull back before COVID.
It started in June and it ended in December, and then we started going up. And this was probably just going to keep going if this didn't happen. This was probably just going to like
That was my same thoughts, 100%, Tucker.
yeah.
If COVID hadn't happened, that dip would have probably never happened.
Here's
This
what I
is
want to
your
ask you guys
Q4
though.
dip to
But
bottom, right?
look at that perfect retest though. Like I know we had COVID, but that's the spooky part is how we filled in like all those inefficiencies just perfectly.
Yeah.
So
And liquidity
then it
stepped in
gets
immediately.
then it becomes tinfoil hatty where it's like, well, what did the liquidation profile look like at that time? Were we always going to move down there? Maybe it just wouldn't have been as quick. I don't know. But it's just such a perfect retest.
Well, that's what I think a lot of people miss. They sit there and honestly, I think there's a tinfoil hat on both sides, bull and bear. But they don't realize that liquidity literally hit the bottom and bounced up. It didn't go deeper. It didn't go deeper at all. It hit that bottom liquidity and bounced right off of it. So if COVID was so detrimental, why did we not go deeper? I always get to that conversation with people and they sit there and they're like, "Oh no, there's no way it can go back here. No way it's gonna." Why would you even say like why would you say that? Why would you even say there's no way? Like that's like me saying there's no way we're gonna go above all time high. Like you don't know
Yeah.
that. Nobody knows that, right?
That's what I
And
think is funny about like a lot of people they think in absolutes with the market or they think in like
yep,
guarantees where it's just probabilities,
it's
like well
probabilities.
based on your experience and your analysis, you believe there's a higher than not probability, more likely possibility that price goes to 35K before we get some sort of like downturn or bleed in the market. It's not a guarantee. You've
Yep.
never said that, but it's more likely than not, so it's just again, it's all just probabilities and just placing bets at key places in the chart. That's really what it comes down to.
I mean, a lot of people like to sit there and they like to watch the news to see what the weather's going to be throughout the week. Do they think that those are absolutes?
Some people
Every
do,
bit,
yeah.
every bit of the Weather Channel is probabilities. Every single bit of it, right? Some people like to speculate price and price direction. Is that absolute? No, it's a probability of price direction. It's a probability of price where it can land. And more often than not, your probabilities are based off of history, and history is what allows you to get better probabilities, right? This is why we look at history and we're like, all right, look here. Let me take it to another level. Let me take it to another level because a lot of these people that don't believe in charts believe in something like, and again, I'm not trying to go way out there on a limb, global warming. If you can believe in global warming, then you can believe in charts because global warming is based off of historical data of actual like temperature, right? But you're willing to believe that, but you're not willing to believe of historical data of price. right?
Wow, man, YouTube's gonna ban us for what you just said. I
Yeah.
can't believe it.
I'm just saying. I'm
Getting a
just
little
like,
nutty.
I'm throwing data against data, right?
No, I get it. I get it. Yeah.
And I'm literally saying like everything out there, everything in life out there. Maybe I shouldn't have gone that direction,
Greta Thunberg is punching air right now, man.
she's over there freaking out right now.
Can't
Charts aren't
believe what
real.
she can't believe what you just said, man. PhD in Outlookology just denied climate change, man.
But look at the end of the day, everything is based on probabilities, right? It's all probabilities. No matter how you look at it, everything is based on data. It's based on past behavior, past history. This is the same way we study people. Do you know why people are so easy to predict? Because we're creatures of habit. We're creatures of pattern, right?
Yep.
Price based pattern. Why does price move in a pattern? Because people live in patterns. It's not difficult to understand. It's really not.
Speaking of patterns, speaking of patterns,
Mhm.
Tucker, what are you drawing right now?
This is
Oh, and real
something I
quick,
was
can you I changed the setup back to how it was. Can you put your tickers up on the right side?
Oh yeah, like
Sorry.
that.
I know
I need to move
it's
it a little.
you can move it in a little bit.
No, do I need to like move this?
Oh, you're fine right there. Yeah, you're fine right there. You can leave it. Yeah, that's
Nice.
good.
Yeah, the main thing that I was trying to get to is like, if you believe any database model, then you have to believe charts. 100%. If you believe in the weather, if you believe in events occurring right as price moves into a certain direction, like if you look at most major events, like catastrophic events, are they happening while the market is healthy, running up, doing okay, not going extreme? Typically not, right? They either happen at the top of just a massive run up, or they happen as the market is already moving in a downtrend. That's where the most catastrophic events happen.
So look, every time before the halving, these are the average, not average. These are the corrections we've had. On average, I'd say it's probably what, 35%, maybe even probably this is probably
I wouldn't even count the first one, bro. Like the data is just so skewed because it's so new. I would only count the last two data
all right, we
points.
got 30 and we got 53. So what, 40% correction on average?
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Let's pull a 40% back from 35.
yeah, from 35K, it's like I'm pretty sure it's like 19
Let's see,
something.
Tucker. You're cherry picking, man. Why not draw it down to the COVID low? You know.
Because
Oh no,
I'm trying
we don't want any extremes so people
bulls. I
aren't
mean,
crying.
yeah,
But there's
yeah.
always extremes in markets. It's Bitcoin.
What do we say? 40?
Yep,
20.9.
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that too. Perfect.
19,999.
Yeah, if we want to say this is a 71% and the average is what, 50%?
Oh, we're going deeper than where we went.
35, we're going to 17, yeah. So
You're revisiting the lows at that point if you go that low.
the only time we've had a low after the halving was this. And I don't know what happened here, but
Well, we can even chalk that up to a skew in the data model, right?
sure.
And that's the thing that I could get on board with. I can get on board with it may not pull back again after the halving. 100% I can get on board with that. Would I tell anybody, hey, wait to see if it'll pull back after the halving? Hell no. I wouldn't tell nobody
No,
to do that.
definitely not. Definitely not. This one I'm trying to get a read on because it wasn't 210. Like, I don't know if I want to count that. I think I'd rather count like this correction of like 25% probably, because that was 200 days before, and this one I think was like when did the correction end? It ended 150 days before. I think this was similar. So if you take like 175, just call it 6 months before, 180 days before.
Do you have the Bitcoin rainbow on there?
Yeah, of course I have the Bitcoin rainbow.
All right. So if you were to
Regression or rainbow? I'll put them both on.
so if you were to take that COVID low, take that and bars it. Bars the COVID low.
Do we want that one or do we want this one?
We can go with the other one, the regression. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Bars the COVID low, just the COVID low, from where it was supposed to run out to where it dropped.
From like the high to the low, you mean?
Yep. Just bars patterns out. Now put that on top of our peak.
What do you mean our peak?
Nope. The very top of Bitcoin.
This?
Nope. Up.
Are you talking about up here?
No. On top. Yeah, on top of the M, up top there. First peak
First peak.
on top of it. Lift that up. That's actually weird. It kind of lines up there too. Pull it, lift it up more, up, all the way up to the top, so the bottom's touching it. That's your blow off top.
Oh, you're saying the difference.
Yeah, but that's your blow off top.
So it's like just under correction followed by over correction to the downside, over correction to the upside. It's just an oscillator, more or less.
It's a
comes out
rebalance.
Yeah.
If you notice it even dip below your bottom there, right? So that was your overcorrection, recorrecting at the high.
Yeah, I mean, dude, as soon as this thing fell out of the bottom of this, you should have just bought.
Yep.
Honestly. Shoot.
Yeah, and scroll out, you'll see that it's never gone below that previously, ever. And if you look at it, look at the first market over there. It catches in the middle.
The rainbow is nice because like on this, we bottomed on this band, this green band, and then we bottomed a band lower, and then we bottomed a band lower.
Yep.
Should we bottom right here? I mean,
maybe in one more cycle, but if you were to draw that, so now see how that rainbow looks? The rainbow looks like it's going up, right? Look at our highs. Draw a line across them. It's almost like they're going lower based on the rainbow.
You mean they're doing this?
Yeah.
I know, I've seen those charts.
They're literally rolling back.
Like this.
Well, I wouldn't say like, what it incentivizes here is that the market right now it's in a maturity stage and it's in a bigger distribution phase, right? A massive distribution phase. And over time, that distribution will turn into an accumulation, an actual real accumulation. Right.
I mean, so you're getting diminishing returns, obviously.
Correct.
Like here.
Exactly.
Here,
exactly.
Here.
And a lot of people don't understand the term diminishing returns because they believe some kind of weird theory that like Bitcoin is going to explode like it did from 1 cent to like obviously 30,000. That's not the case.
That's always so crazy to me that people still like, they don't understand that it's a lot easier to move like a $10 million market cap than a 300 million or 300
billion.
Yeah, exactly. They don't adjust for that at all.
Well, that's where you get real tinfoil hats where they're like, well, 1% of the world liquidity moved into Bitcoin and crypto, and it's like it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Like if 1% moved in, it's going to move into all of crypto. And Bitcoin's going to get a portion of that, which is still not going to be enough to push it to the numbers people are talking about.
Yeah. Gotta see if I can like.
And then they like to try and pretend like Bitcoin, like people are just going to move out of gold, which they're not. People that are in a gold in that massive of a position, they don't care.
They love gold.
IDGAF type of money, right? They don't care. They love gold. And they're not going to move out of gold and move into Bitcoin. Just not going to happen. There's certain assets that you have to be reasonable to the expectation of that they're just not going to happen. You're not going to see a sell off of them.
Yeah. Let's see.
I mean, where do we go from here next cycle? Right? That's the real question. Like I would say almost arguably, if this is where we bottom here, do we end up on the light blue band later? Do we rebound and never come back to those lower bands later? That's kind of the question.
You could even simplify this, like, let's take off all these.
By the way, I have a prediction for what the next top looks like.
I'm gonna hear it.
Now, but I'll preface with this: I think that Bitcoin's eventually going to trade at multiple hundreds of thousands. Okay. What really matters is what that purchasing power represents at the end of the day, because 250,000 per Bitcoin might be equivalent to 50,000 per Bitcoin now. You know, if we enter some sort of QE and ZERP, frenzy after this tightening cycle comes to an end, it might not mean as much, of course. But that goes without saying. I think that there's two possibilities for next cycle. Either they turn the money printer back on to keep the Ponzi going and Bitcoin goes to 250K, and basically 250K doesn't mean that much because your purchasing power has been eaten away. You've been diluted. That would imply the S&P 500's at like, 10,000 or something, okay? Next prediction is we enter a new bull market. Things are starting to look good again after the 2024 election. Bitcoin's probably going to front run 100K. I could see like 75 to 90 and then crazy bear market after that because everybody's going to be waiting for that 100K Bitcoin. Like we got so close last cycle. We hit 70K per Bitcoin. We were so close. No way we won't even 2x off of that high. We'll 2x that high. We'll at least hit 100, 130 to 150K. I could absolutely see Bitcoin front running 100K and making you wait till not the next halving, not the fourth halving, but the fifth halving. Just a thought.
Yeah, I thought about that. I'm not gonna lie, like I think we do break 100 this cycle. I know that's very tenfold hatty for me, but it's like when I look at the high and I look at where we've been, I think people's expectations is so much higher, right? I think like we get up to like probably 100. I think that's a real possibility right there. That's what I have about 140, and I haven't even used.
Tucker, can you put your tickers up?
Tomorrow.
Can you put?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just because it gets cut off. There you go. Perfect.
Good.
Yep, perfect.
But that's my expectations, man. Is like something like that, like 140. People say 250. They start because you know how people are when they reach target, they just keep raising the bar, right?
Here's the thing to note real quick about those log regression bands is they do have to be refit every cycle. So these were fit during the previous cycle, like before the previous highs. So these probably need to be adjusted a little bit. So like that deviation below, like it should be refit so that we're not actually going below that. Like it should account for that. It's not perfect, like it's a good sort of guide, but it shouldn't be.
It's 100% a lagging indicator.
Yeah, lagging. It needs to be refit. It needs to be refit 100%.
And I tell people all the time, I'm like, never use a lagging indicator to give you actual price. Yeah, but Tucker, let's use a fib over that.
Look, this is where the band's gonna go. This is the average time it takes from the bottom or from the halving to the high. You're looking at 223. Also,
yeah, I've heard that one.
I know. Look, you got the double top, you got the parabola. We got the double top. There you go. Simple stuff.
Well, that's only at the blow off top happens.
I mean, Will, what is the next? What's the catalyst for the next cycle? Is it going to be more money printing, or like what's going to actually take us up there? Because I don't think we can get there without exorbitant amounts and absolute abundance of money printing. Or are they going to just, once we get out of this tightening cycle, they're going to turn the printer back on and just inject more liquidity than they did even during COVID?
If they inject liquidity, it's not going to be directly to the public. So I don't see how that becomes a thing. Personally, I think a lot of this just comes down to speculation and gambling. Most participants in crypto are not investors, they're gamblers. So they will throw everything in on this looking for exponentials and they will get destroyed at the highs when that happens. This is why I sell out every time, Mark. I'm just like, dude, I'm not stupid. I'm not a participant like you guys. Like I'm a participant in the way of I'm looking for the momentum and I'm getting the hell out and letting you guys eat the downside. And when I say you guys, I mean anybody who's in this belief system that there's no more downside, that we just go up and we just continue to go up at every cycle. And that's really what I think drives Bitcoin's price each cycle is speculation by retail and we'll say manipulation and predatory price action by institutions, right? To entice and bait retail. It's almost like you're seeing the hook, right? You see the stake, right? You see the stake in front of you, but you see the hook and you see the line going around the corner, but you're willing to put it in your mouth, right? And that's how retail is every single time. And they'll get one, then they'll get two, then they'll get three
But it
stakes.
also
And now
depends who
gonna
you're
hook.
talking about because Michael Saylor, if you're an ultra high net worth individual and you've got a 10+ year outlook, he doesn't care, like he's not viewing it that way. Now he's an outlier, right? Like he's not who
Very
you're talking
much.
about. But there's
Very
guys
much.
like him that we don't know about that just, they got $100 million in cash. For them, that's not that much money. They don't care what Bitcoin is at because they're just going to hold it. They believe in the asset. They've got a much different strategy than guys like you, guys like me or Tucker, like maybe the more right curve or experience side of like true retail. Like we are retail, but we're not, like entry level retail. But yeah, I mean, it depends on their objectives. But I mean, I know what you're talking about, right? Like I don't mean to, you know, make you
No,
trip over your words. It's
you're
like
right.
I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the people that, they see, Bitcoin at the all-time high and they're like, "Oh, Plan B said it's going to 300K. I'm all in here." And then like they capitulate at the FTX low.
Yep.
I know who you're talking about, but
Yep. Exactly. They're the bottom sellers and the top buyers.
I think what we need to do is like, so for example, Michael Saylor treats Bitcoin like a lot of these, large companies or high net worth individuals, they treat the S&P 500. People don't care, even like, the 401k, DCAers, they don't care what the price of the S&P 500 index is. They just have a 10 or 20 or 30 or 50 year horizon on it, and they slowly DCA into it. I think we probably need for Bitcoin to really succeed and hit these crazy prices, we need more people to begin to view Bitcoin like Michael Saylor does, truthfully, which in the short
100%.
term is dangerous, right? But if we can get more people that just say, I don't really care what it does in the short term, I'm investing for 20, 30 years down the road. If it's at 40K, I don't
Yep.
care. If it's at 5K, I don't care. But right now, you've got very sophisticated retail, which are still multimillionaires that can move price together, that are savvy and understand these markets, sort of trading around these big guys that are beginning to slowly adopt it as a long-term investment vehicle. It's a weird sort of dichotomy that we're seeing.
If you look at the top of Bitcoin and where I kind of knew the top was kind of settling in, is you saw consistent articles of these 4 or 5 high net worth individuals have put their money together and have been accumulating Bitcoin here at the highs. It's like when you start getting hive mind, high dollar amount, really wealthy people buying at the top, like you it's time, it's over. It's over. Movie stars start getting involved, all that stuff, it's over. Movie stars don't even know what an asset is. They depend on their agent to tell them what they should be eating and drinking every day. Like it's actually insane that people take advice from people that are movie stars. Like they have no clue what they're even.
Oh, you mean the celebrities that start buying the top? Yeah.
Yeah. It's like when they start buying, they like sell to them. Don't
They
buy
buy
with them.
right here.
Yeah. When they start buying, you sell to them, and you wait because they're gonna be the ones eating the downside. It's actually there was a lot of that in 2021. So many celebrities. Crow got destroyed because of that.
Dude, we all should have just max shorted the Super Bowl ad, man.
Yeah.
Dude, when that came out, I was like, that's really bad. They're like,
Can you
it's so
believe
bullish.
that?
I was like, no, it's not. They're gonna get destroyed.
Bro, can you believe that, man? I can't believe we had multiple Super Bowl ads.
Were we in here? Yeah.
Hey, have we talked about Rivian this morning?
Have we talked about Lucid this morning?
Yeah.
Oh, did it
man.
move? Did it move?
Yeah, Lucid's
Yes.
moving, man.
Oh, it's ready. It's
Oh,
ready.
it's ready.
Lucid
ready.
Lucid wants
It's
Lucid
ready.
wants Lucid wants $10 soon,
As soon
man.
as it breaks that top, bro, you're gonna see that FOMO candle kick in.
$8, yeah.
People are starting to
Oh,
watch it, man. Yeah, it's starting to climb.
oh, it's gonna Chad.
It is gonna Chad, man. It's definitely gonna Chad.
Look at that buy up. Look at that buy up. It's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what this pair reminds me of, Rivian and Lucid? It reminds me of Mara Hut 8.
yeah.
Really, really does.
What's Mara doing right now? What's it up on the day?
Kind of topping a little bit there, but
Yeah,
bro, Rivian's about to blow up again. No bullshit.
percent. Oh, it's flat.
Hey
It's
Tucker,
really-
what's the Rivian Lucid pair doing, man?
Look at this. Look at this,
Did we
bro.
break the Did we break the triple bottom? That's what Lucid's gonna do, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. As soon as you break that high there,
Wait, no, it's loose to
Oh.
Rivian.
You could just invert the chart. That's fine. But
yeah,
yeah, or do that.
that
Do we
is
break
as
the triple
beautiful as you
bottom,
get.
or are we tracking?
We're close.
Yeah,
We need
see,
to
we just
turn
need once
around.
Lucid pops, then it's gonna spring off that bottom, man.
We
Yep.
need Rivian to chill out. Is what we need.
No,
Rivian's
no, no, no,
upset.
no. We need Rivian to
No,
keep going.
let
We just
Rivian
need
keep
we just need
going.
Lucid to outperform, man. Rivian can keep doing what
Yeah.
it's doing. It'd be better if Rivian keeps chatting, but we just need Lucid to like.
They could stay on pace. They could stay on pace, and then at a certain point, Rivian's gonna flip or Lucid will flip.
Rivian's still outpacing a little bit, 2%. What is the average? What does this go back to? 2021. What can we expect? 0.6. What is that? A 2x? A 2x in the Lucid Rivian ratio?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is why I
0.6,
took
yeah.
some profit and rotated the profit into that.
So I mean, it would imply Lucid up at like a 12. No, what? More than that. 0.6. That'd be like a $15 stock.
Yeah.
$15 Lucid share price if we move back up to range highs.
That'd be a nice 2x. How long did that take?
1 day.
4 bar. Oh, wait,
Lucid's
I'm on the
gapping up.
4 hour. I'm on the 4 hour. How long did that take? From the bottom to what? 0.6? Let's go points. 53 days. 2 months, $15 Lucid. Let's buy some calls.
Buy some leaps, man.
$15
Oh.
Lucid. I'm thinking $10 for 4 months out. Yeah, $10.
Oh, you're gonna be beyond 10, bro. I think you'll be at 15 easy.
No, I'm saying buy the $10 calls 4 months out. Let it go to 15. I'll be deep in the money. 2
That'll
months.
be what, like a 6x?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I might do that.
That's nice.
Ain't no might, man. Don't miss the opportunity like we did on Rivian, bro. I'm telling you. Like I'm a
I'm long spot. I'm long spot. I just don't have any
I'm too.
calls on it.
I'm long spot,
Yeah.
but I feel like I'm gonna be feeling underexposed here pretty soon when the move comes. Like I'm already up nicely on it. Like I was buying in the low sevens, but I'm when that pop to 10, $12 happens, oof. I'm gonna be looking here going, man, I should have bought at 8, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I should have chased it a bit more.
Yeah, well, no, I was telling people too. I'm like, until we break that resistance, there is a resistance there on Lucid. You break that resistance, it's buy until then. You can buy as much as you want up to that point. Like even at 780, I think we're still in a solid place to be looking at buying on Lucid. I mean, here's the only issue right here. I'm kind of scared they're gonna do like a predatory move like they did on Rivian and yank down before they blow up.
So like 650, you're thinking maybe?
Like 650 somewhere in there, just like a really hard pullback to really shake people out and then rip, right? And I don't want to be too. I think your idea there, Haggard, is perfect. Like just fucking sorry, excuse my language, but set it out for 3-4 months and let that sit versus like trying to catch the next month move, which is what I tried to do last time.
Yeah, I just bought some calls just now. had to be done.
What'd you buy?
I bought the 10s for what was it? The 10s November maybe. Let me see. I can't remember. Yeah, I bought tens for November. Yeah, 92 cents, 90 something cents. Um,
How
yeah,
are they right now? What's the IO on them? Or OI,
that's
sorry.
a great question there, Will. 2000 OI.
What?
That's solid.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's a crazy OI. That's
That's
actually really
solid.
good.
There's
Well,
some
there's
interest, man.
7,000. There's 7,000 OI for the eights. There's 3,000 for the nines, 2,000 for the tens, 1,800 and 1,200 for the 11s and 12s for November. Um, so yeah,
Yeah, I took the lower end range when I went into Rivian, man. Mine was like 1150. I knew it was like I was kind of like I should push it out, and I just went with it anyway.
I'm buying more. Actually, I'm underexposed here, fellas. I'm
Tucker's
not gonna
sending it,
lie.
man.
Hey, 6X is a 6X if it gets the 15.
That's true.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Sometimes you just got to go for it, man.
You got the bull div playing on Lucid too. That's the thing that a lot of people are not paying attention to. Easy
Ooh,
bull div.
we're seeing a little green here.
Uh-oh.
We're seeing a little bounce on the bottom on the lucid rim.
Ooh.
Right where we need it. Yeah, we need this to turn into a wick. What do we got? Yeah, it's because Rivian's coming down. That's what's happening.
That's what I was gonna say.
It's about 5%. Rivian's coming down a little. Yeah.
No, we're just seeing a rotation. That's all. It's a rotation from Rivian to Lucid.
I'm telling you, look, if somebody's playing in one, they're playing in the other. 100%.
Yeah. Dude. What if it just goes to like $50?
Look, this
Yeah.
isn't it could easily. This isn't it's only 15 billion market cap. You know, that's not that high of an expectation for a $15 billion market cap. It's plenty liquid to be okay with getting into it. They have money on the books, solid company. But let me ask you guys this, and this is I don't think personally, and you can correct me if you think differently, that this is retail thought, but like the fact that Aston Martin is involved with Lucid, like, come on, like, somebody not see that as like kind of crazy?
Will, do you like my
And
background?
the bull in the moon in the winter, yeah, like it.
It's
It's not a
actually
bull. It's not a bull. It's an ox.
Close enough. It's bull, right? An ox, but yeah, a bit, yeah, bigger bird, bigger version. Let's go with yeah, because here's the thing that blows my mind is the fact that Aston Martin is trying to use their transmissions. Is that not like mind blowing?
It's a huge endorsement. I mean, that's
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's a huge endorsement.
That says a lot. I haven't really seen a competitor or even a company like the size of Aston Martin that sells their cars for multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars for to come to a company that's valued at $15 million and said we want to use your parts. I honestly find that mind-boggling.
Wait, is Aston Martin trying to go electric? What's the deal?
Yes, and they see Lucid as the way. That's the way I see it, right? I mean, why
Dude,
would you?
I don't even know what a Lucid looks like. I'm gonna look it up right
They're fine. They look nice. Like they're definitely high quality. They're higher quality than Tesla. I'll say that much. Personally, I think I like the Rivian styling better than Lucid at this point. But
now. Does Rivian make a sedan?
yeah, they do. It looks nice, I think.
Rivian has a truck. They have guess what? Guess who's been promised a truck for many years? What company has been promising a truck? That's worth multiple hundreds of billions of dollars in value.
Tesla.
Tesla. Oh, look at that. Where's
Wait,
the truck at, Tesla?
Where's Rivian's sedan? Well, I see Rivian has this new thing coming out.
I've seen those, man. Those have been driving all over my home state. I see those
Really?
everywhere.
They
Yeah, I
look
see
like
them
the
everywhere.
Broncos.
I like them. Yeah, they look like nicer Broncos.
Yeah, that's exactly what they look like a Bronco. Exactly.
Lucid's cars are kind of nice. I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty.
Tell me it doesn't look sleek.
Yeah, dude, that actually does look pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Is that like
Like,
edited at all, or is that actually what they look
no,
like?
that's actually what they look like.
Just a Google image. I think that's actually what they look like.
Yeah, that's not editing, bro.
Okay,
That's
because I've seen a
100%.
different version of that and it didn't look as
Well,
good. That looks really clean.
that's the Sapphire, I think. So they have different levels, different trim levels, right? So they have like the Sapphire. You can find just like a normal one. Find one that's not like sleeked up on picture.
I couldn't paste it. Find one that's not sleeked up.
Yeah, like some dude's like sitting outside his house next to it or something.
I mean,
There you go.
it's still kind of sleeked up, but like,
I mean, but that's like a normal looking
What's the
area.
interior look like? Can you pull up the interior?
Oh, the interior is nuts, man.
That's
It's
what
way,
I really need to
way
see,
better
man.
than Tesla. Way better than Tesla.
What, you don't like their pleather seats, Will?
Bro, no, no. They need to fix their interiors pretty badly.
this over here.
And guys, before we pull up the interior to Lucid here, we're gonna have some fun. Please, as always, help us run the range high of 20 likes. Lately, we haven't just been sweeping liquidity at 20 likes. We've actually been having a sustained and consistent breakout above 20 likes. So if you could, please take just 1 second and hit that thumbs up button for us. It does wonders for the channel. So we are very much appreciative. Thanks, guys. Wow,
Look at
man,
that
what is
back
that?
seat.
That's
Look
like
at
a
the back
Maybach.
seat.
Look at the back seat, bro. Like, would you not want to ride the back seat?
Dude, that's like a straight up Maybach. That's crazy.
The roof is all
Wow,
glass.
Look at the screen. Look at the screen. How much are these things?
Oh, easily 100Ks, bro.
You serious?
Yeah, these
So
are
they're
these
competing with the Model S is what they're doing.
They're high end. Yeah, they're all high end.
Do they make like a Model 3 competitor or no?
They have a
Design
lower
yours.
end one, yes. The Sapphire is the top end trim. It's
right.
faster than the Plaid, and
See, that looks like a Honda though, right there though, man. That's
Oh wow, the Air Sapphire is a $250,000.
that's what I said. Yeah,
Wow.
1,200 horsepower.
Jesus Christ,
it's faster than the Plaid, bro.
dude.
Wow.
Yeah, this is I think the Mac Daddy, right?
That's unreal,
You
man.
can't
That's
get any better. Yeah.
yeah,
That's
man. That's
nasty,
sweet.
bro.
0 to 60 in 1.89 seconds. Are you
Yep.
kidding me?
No,
Dude,
Yeah.
that's faster than the Tesla
That's
Roadster.
unbelievable.
they raced it against a Bugatti, a Ducati, and a Plaid that beat them all quarter mile.
They beat a Bugatti.
Yeah,
It's in pre-production, so it's not even on it. Dude, I bet these things are ridiculous.
So here's what I have to
Okay,
ask
listen
though.
up.
I don't
there's n-
care because I'm look, Tesla promises the truck, they don't deliver, the stock goes crazy, doesn't matter. They can promise this, pump my bags, that's fine. Are they actually going to deliver on any of this stuff? Do you have
no
anything that's indicating that they will?
You talking about this car?
Yeah, the 1.89, you know.
They already made it.
Can people own it
No,
yet?
no,
So the Air
it says
Sapphire.
it's in pre-production.
Yeah, but they've already
Oh,
made
wow.
they've
I
already
can
made
turn it
some.
around.
Like if you look it up
They
on
made some-
YouTube, the model that they were talking about, they didn't just have a truck sitting there telling you they're going to make a truck. They actually made a Sapphire and raced it against those three cars that I just told you. And a Ducati is a bike. It's one of the fastest bikes from like short range takeoff, right? The reason a Sapphire is so fast, it has no lag on transmission gear shift, like almost zero drag, which is practically insane. Because like when a car shifts, it like shifts, jerks, and pulls, right? But like this car is just like shift as it's moving. No drag on the transmission at all. It's actually insane. Like you can look it up. Like these are out there. I think when they say pre-production, it's probably to special customers only.
Air Sapphire. PP. Oh god. There. Yeah, video. There it is.
Right
Does
there's
it wreck the
oh yeah, dude. It like by almost a car length.
Me, look over there. Ah, that is the.
I would just move it into the probably we don't want to get demonetized. Maybe no volume.
wait, what? No volume?
Yeah. Just run it into like where they're racing. And like towards the end.
Screwing this up. Here we go. Towards the end.
Yeah. Right there's the Ducati.
No way.
Wow, it toasted it.
Yeah, not by a little bit, by a lot.
That's a street bike.
It's one of the fastest 0 to 60s out there. And then they got the Bugatti one too. It smokes the
Dude,
Bugatti.
that thing's flying. Wow. Where's I want to see the race the test. Where's the test? Ducati's quarter mile. Ryan Mag. Where's the Tesla?
Right there's your setups right there. Look.
9.1. Wow. Is that a quarter mile?
Yep, that's a quarter mile. Basically, it beat all of them by 0.2 seconds.
Wow, man, I need to own more of this stock.
Yeah, it's not a prototype. Hey, we're gonna build you a truck. It's an actual car that they've made.
Wow.
And they did this just to show the power of the car.
Yeah, about this guy. Are these guys going full speed right now? Yeah, they must
Yeah,
be.
all of them are like flooring it. The problem with Bugatti is like it has so much power when you hit the wheels, they kind of drag it for like a second before it takes off.
Well, it's got two huge, heavy V8s.
Bugatti's gotta be faster.
No,
Dude, I need to
Bugatti's not
see
faster, bro.
Tucker, find the Tesla versus the
0.2
the Lucid
seconds
Air.
in the racing world is a
Wait,
is
did
a
it
lot.
toast the Bugatti?
Yeah. The Plaid beat the Bugatti by a little bit too,
Oh
though.
man. It's like
All
it's time
right,
to
this
bet
is the
more.
one. Let's see.
Yeah.
Did you just skip it?
What's
Kind of
happening?
choppy.
Oh no, we're good. We're good. I think it was just look at the Bugatti guy. He's like, what's going on? Look at him getting
Dude,
smoked by
imagine
both of them.
spending like $5 million on a Bugatti just to get toasted.
By electric car. Look, see, the Plaid and the Bugatti are behind. See, he passes the Plaid.
Wait, are you guys watching it on something?
I'll watch on you on your end. It's just it's lagging on your end.
All right, that's fine. We get the point. That's crazy though. That's
Dude, yeah, I
absolutely
turned
crazy.
the YouTube video off like a long time ago.
It's a long.
Wow.
So what do you guys think
lagging
now?
hard. I must be.
Yeah,
Dude, I'm
close
not
those
gonna lie. You
windows.
got me more excited about being a shareholder. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, you have to assume that they absorb some market cap from Tesla. You know, it's the same thing that happened with Netflix when all the streaming competitors came out. It's going to get spread out a bit. It's very concentrated. I mean, the Tesla as a single company has been acting as like the EV ETF for years.
Mm-hmm.
But now that we've got other competitors coming onto the market and they're innovating and they're actually potentially improving, what Tesla started, being the first domino to fall. It's pretty crazy, man. You have to assume that, Lucid's going to be a serious player. What's the market cap of Lucid right now?
Like 14 billion.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, 14.
that's $100 billion company. I mean, it could be.
I think easy 100 billion. Yeah. As much money is out there in the market right now, I think easy 100 billion. These cars are top end premium cars.
Yeah, but then I mean, you gotta also comp shop and say what's the market cap of like, you know, like what's GM worth? What's Toyota worth? What's BMW worth?
Mhm.
You know,
Well, that I like to put GM and Ford and stuff like that. That's where I like to put Rivian, right? I like to put Rivian in your general consumer. So that's what they'll eat up from Tesla is general consumer. And then I like to put Lucid on your high end consumer, right? And so that'll eat up the net some of the net worth of Tesla's high end consumer. Because if you look at a Plaid and you look at a Lucid and you look at the price and you're like, oh, this car is way faster because 0.2 seconds in the racing world is a lot, right? You look at this and you're like, I'm getting more bang for my buck here than I am here. Because while plaids are okay, they have decent interiors. I will say that the plaids aren't too bad, but the Lucid just offers so much more to their customers, in my opinion, for
but
the dollar.
here's what you want to consider though. Yes, Lucid's highest tier product is extremely impressive. But where they're really going to succeed as a business is putting Lucid in the hands of everybody. And I think Tesla identified that, which is why originally they didn't have, they only had the Model S to start. They had their high end luxury car.
Yep.
Lucid probably needs to improve their lower end product. That's how they're going to be a $100 million stock, not by just being a little faster than the Model S.
That's where you have to speculate, right? And I think Lucid will identify that, and I think they have identified that, and I think they'll move that direction, right? It's just most of these cars have to show that they have quality, which is what they've done, and then they start working their way down. That's what Tesla did to build its business. It worked with the high end consumers to get the liquid capital by selling high end cars, and then it started working its way down to the low end consumer, which I think is what Lucid is slowly but surely doing because they moved up that 250 mark and they moved down to 100. They moved down to I think their lowest right now is 107, but that's a significant drop in price for car, right? It just they need that capital to be able to make that liquidity so they're able to make the cars cheaper, right? The development takes time. I think 5-10 years you're sitting out in some Lucid, you got a decent stock price, right? I think it's a long-term hold portfolio item. That's what I'm looking at. I'm not just looking to trade. I'm looking to invest in this company personally. But
Yeah, but I have to assume if Lucid goes to 15 to 18 bucks, you're probably going to unload a majority of your shares there, right? We can't hear you, Will.
oh yeah. No, I was gonna say I always over capitalize in something I'm investing in, especially when I think there's gonna be a big rip, right? And the reason I over capitalize is so that way I can take that profit and rotate it into something that's less valued. So when I'm looking for the big rips, I overcapitalize. That way I don't have to sell off a good chunk of my long-term investment shares and I can take profit based on what I'm trying to do. So like say I want to be in Lucid for the long term with like, I don't know, 4% of my portfolio or whatnot. And that's I want to keep that. I don't want to sell it. I bought a bunch down here at the lows. And then say I know it's gonna rip, right, to $15. And I'll probably come in with like 6%, right? And then I'll have 2% I can literally just rip off the market and at a 2x, 3x position, and then move that into somewhere else that is undervalued.
Yeah. I want to show one scenario I'm looking at with Ethereum real quick, and then we'll wrap it up. And guys, I gotta ask another favor from the audience here. If you guys could help us get to 20 likes, that would be huge. Right now we're sitting at 15. I want to run that range high. We've probably had like 10 consecutive streams of running 20 likes. We can't fall short, guys. We can't fall short. Got to put the team on our back. If you guys could help us get there, I'd be extremely appreciative. Tucker, I'd love for you to go down to like the 2 hour for me.
$2 hour.
1 hour is fine too. That's okay. Just like a lower time frame.
Being slow.
Yeah, we're lagging. Here's what I'm looking at
Whoa.
real quick. I'm going to spend 60 seconds on this because that's all we need.
There you go.
We got some really tasty equal lows right there at 18.20. See those bad boys? 18.20
Boom.
right there. Yep. I want those run right before CPI. And then we look for longs from there.
Yeah, if you were to pull up Bitcoin too, though, like both of these have like solid uptrends. Like Bitcoin on the weekly, all higher lows.
Mm-hmm.
Even where we're sitting right now, all higher lows.
It's just a little choppy, but it is structurally intact. You are
It's
correct
structurally
about
intact. Yep. Like, can I share real quick? You guys got that? And then I gotta close
that.
up
Yeah,
myself.
we'll wrap up here after you share. We'll go.
Okay.
Here,
So
let me switch to you. Hang on.
you're good.
All right. Yeah, go ahead.
So this is what I'm seeing right now. I'm seeing the slow build up on the lows right there. And so I'm expecting, even as choppy as it is, this is a rising, right? And it's looking to pop.
Yeah, there's a lot of confluence right up there. But now let me ask you this, Will. So let's say we get 33, 34K. What do you expect after that? Give me the next 6 months.
Up here, I would expect we're gonna hit chop, 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 maybe chop up one more time, chop, chop, chop.
So just distribution up there.
Distribution all the way around, and then start working our way back down, roll, hit, and then kind of pull out on a bounce, come back up, hit resistance, roll, hit, lower again. You know, it's going to be a crazy ride back down.
And then you think we re-enter that range between like 18 and 25?
Honestly, yeah. So I think, yeah, exactly. 25 to, all the way down. I got to like 19.3. So
Yep.
somewhere between this area right here will be the bottom of the move. And then once that area gets captured, this is kind of my bigger time frame play out here.
Can
to
you,
wherever we go.
yeah, I was going to say move the chart. We got our faces over the right side of your chart.
Oh.
Now we can see it. Yeah, that's good
Yeah.
right there. Perfect.
So like, wherever that lands, it lands. But our 5 could be, up here. I try to be reasonable in line with the highs here.
And you think that's sometime like 2 years from now, like a year?
2025, 2024, something there. And really, I think the top's going to occur right along this line. Wherever that blow off kind of hits, right? I think we're going to hit basically off of these highs, somewhere's up at these highs.
Yeah. I could see that.
And you can see it here too. Look, this is a big, Rodney channel, right? Until it's not.
Bro, where's that squiggle going? The last bit there. You think at 130 back down to 15? What was that last part?
Oh, you're talking about the lows?
No,
Yeah.
you just drew a huge squiggle there, way down. Like, yeah, what? Okay, there you.
We're gonna for sure revisit the 30s. I think after the next cycle, and
Really?
then maybe come back up here.
Dude, 130K down to 30 then, man? That's a lot, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of liquidity here. There's a lot of price interest in this
That's
area.
demand. That's your demand zone, man.
That's your demand zone, yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys, we've been going for over an hour now, so I think we're gonna call it here. Oh, they got us to 20 likes. Thank you guys so much for helping us get to 20 likes. You guys are the best. I love hitting range high of 20, guys. But guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks so much for being here. This is Market Check. My name is Max. I'm joined by Tucker and Will's Outlook. I hope you guys enjoyed the discussion today. We talked about Bitcoin, lower time frame. We talked about Bitcoin outlook for next cycle, going into the halving. We talked about Lucid. We talked about CPI this week as well in the very beginning. So guys, thanks so much for being here. If you're new here, we're Because Bitcoin. We're a financial media company with a very heavy emphasis on digital assets. We run this show every single day. This is called Market Check at the exact same time. So if you enjoyed the show, please consider liking the video and also subscribing and keeping up with what we're doing. We do have some links in our bio as well to some of our premium offerings. If you want additional analysis and insights from myself, Tucker, Will, and the rest of the Because Bitcoin team and analysts, We've got some really great offerings down below, so give those a look. But yeah, guys, thanks again for being here. Please like and subscribe, and we will see you guys at the exact same time tomorrow. Guys, thanks as always. Take care.